Hello, everyone. This is Kripa Anand, and welcome to the She and Success podcast, a national platform spotlighting powerful women who are shaping the future of business leadership and impact across Canada. Today, we delve into the evolving landscape of travel risk intelligence, corporate duty of care, and how real time safety insights safeguard business continuity. Navigating employee travel or international operations requires moving past basic flight updates to deploy comprehensive risk intelligence, spanning climate events, cyber threats, health updates, and geopolitical developments. Joining us today is Suzanne Sangiovese, CEO of Riskline. Suzanne brings over 15 years of dedicated experience in travel risk technology and global security. Operating out of Copenhagen, Denmark, Riskline provides 24 by 7, 365 days a year intelligence across more than 220 countries and 260 cities. Suzanne, who serves as a vice chair for GBT Europe's Risk Committee, recently spearheaded Riskline's landmark global integration with TripAdvisor to deliver real time safety information to millions of travelers worldwide. So, before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Suzanne, welcome to the podcast. Such a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much to invite me. It's great to be here.
Now, Suzanne, a major oversight for many organizations is treating travel risk purely as political conflict or physical violence, completely underestimating how climate shifts or health alerts or other factors also impact corporate travel. Let's start the discussion by understanding from your extensive experience, how has travel risk intelligence evolved beyond traditional threats? Go ahead and educate us about it.
I shall. And I really like this question, because I think it's evolved in a way that our understanding of travel risk itself and the range of factors that we now consider when we are assessing travel risk, that's what's really evolved and changed. So first of all, I would say we're really increasingly operating in what can be termed as a polycrisis environment. That kind of sounds scary. But basically, what it means is that risks aren't really necessarily happening in isolation anymore, right? They're just kind of not one particular singular event that is happening off in the corner. So we get things like geopolitical tensions, extreme weather, economic instability, tech and transport disruptions. They can all intersect. And basically, what's happening is they're then amplifying one another. We're also dealing with risks that, we traditionally, I guess, haven't really been considered part of travel risk. And that's just because times are changing. So cybersecurity is a really good example of that. Business traveler, they can be out with their corporate phone, their laptop, and on that, of course, is going to come company data. And they can be accessing just unfamiliar Wi-Fi networks in hotels or airports. So then we get digital theft, data security, that's kind of now part of the conversation. I'd also say here too, unseen risks. And they can be very personal. So we can't really assume that just because a destination is considered low risk, it's equally low risk for everyone that's going to be going there. So someone's gender, their nationality, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or basically just other aspects of their individual profile can really change the experience that they have in that destination. So really, no two colleagues, when they go and have the exact same business trip, they're not going to have the same kind of considerations when they're there. And finally, I guess I'd say here is familiar risks are also changing too. So look, storms, flooding, wildfire, extreme temperatures that definitely I've been experiencing here in Europe recently. They're not new, but we are seeing them just impact wider geographic areas, and also they're more intense. So really, it's not just that we've got more risks out there, they're evolving.
Yeah.
It's just that, as I've said, they're more interconnected, and they're becoming more contextual.
Well, definitely, all of us somewhere know these things exist, these things happen, but we don't talk about it enough in a way that puts it all together. So the work that you are doing, Suzanne, thank you so much. It is incredibly important, and kudos to everything that you've achieved so far as well. What you said, I think this perspective completely shifts how we view the safety of our assets, specifically when we are traveling. Now, let's transition over to global operations and examine how regional disruptions cascade into major business continuity risks. So, following up on what you said, please go ahead and explain a little more detail that why should travel risk be part of business continuity planning as well?
Because business travel is just part of also how an organization operates, right? It's part of
Right.
business. So people are traveling to meet customers. They want to
Mhm.
negotiate deals, manage projects. They're going to important events. So
Right.
when travel becomes disrupted, I'd say the impact also doesn't just stop with the traveler and the fact that they can't travel, because a canceled journey can mean that that customer meeting can't happen or a project gets
Mhm.
delayed. Maybe the organization suddenly that they can't operate as planned in a particular market. So I would say that that's where really this travel risk and business continuity really intersect, right? Because the
Right.
risks that do happen in travel, it can impact the continuity of your business. So I think sometimes what ends up happening is you get organizations just looking at travel risk through the lens of duty of care when it comes to how do we keep our people safe, which is important, because that's fundamental, of course, but also there is the question to ask of how do we keep the business operating? So, right, when
Mhm.
our people's ability to travel is disrupted. Something that has recently been affecting the world and kicked off earlier this year was just airspace closures due to a geopolitical event.
Mhm.
So not only have you got, again, just a traveler safety issue, but then there's also this operational issue. So can that person still get to where they need to go? Do you have to postpone a meeting? Can it go through? Because after all, just again, like the whole purpose of a business trip is for business to get done. So, like I
Right.
said before, travel risk, it shouldn't be really in isolation.
Mhm.
Protecting your people is super important, of course, but also protecting your organization's ability to operate. And those two things are just increasingly come together, and I just see them as really the same side as this resilience conversation.
Well, again, very well articulated, and thank you so much for educating our audience about that. Now, so I also mentioned in the beginning your big partnership with TripAdvisor. Firstly, a huge congratulations for that. Go ahead and explain that how exactly does Riskline's partnership with TripAdvisor improve this travel safety? So paint the picture for us.
Oh, I am super jazzed by this partnership, honestly. It's really helping travelers make informed decisions, because
Mhm.
what we're doing is we're just bringing this really timely and relevant travel risk information. It's into a platform that, hey, millions of travelers, they're already there and they're using it to plan and navigate their journeys. So through this partnership, basically how it's working is TripAdvisor, they are integrating Riskline's intelligence, and really to support their up-to-date travel advisories and safety information that they will surface on the platform, basically covering destinations around the world, and that could be things pertaining to natural or environmental risks, conflicts, maybe health and medical considerations as well. And what's even like just super exciting again is just the opportunity that now that we have to bring risk intelligence closer to the traveler themselves. So at Riskline, what we do is we talk a lot about the importance of enabling people to travel with confidence. And
Mhm.
of course, information, that's an important part of that. So the better informed somebody is about a potential risk or disruption that could affect their journey, basically, the better equipped they are to make that decision. So I always like to say,
Mhm.
a smarter traveler leads to a kind of more easy journey. So for us, it's just super exciting and also very great that we get to reach even further into the leisure travel space. We are well known in the corporate travel world, but now with TripAdvisor, we are kind of sharing this goal of helping millions of more people make better informed travel decisions.
Wow, that's amazing. I think how beautifully you've embedded real time risk intelligence directly into travel planning tools. I think it empowers people to venture out with complete confidence and peace of mind, as you said. And building on what you've said, Suzanne, I'd now like to give a special message to all of our listeners, specifically to all the corporate travel managers, executives, and business owners who are listening and watching. Allowing outdated travel advisories or unmonitored risk factors to endanger your team or disrupt operations is a preventable liability. Executive led by Suzanne, Riskline delivers world class travel risk intelligence, combining human expertise and AI to protect organizations worldwide. So, upgrade your duty of care and explore their 24/7 destination intelligence by visiting riskline.com today. Now, coming back to you, Suzanne. Firstly, you're so passionate about what you do. It just fills my heart with so much joy. Specifically, when I see women in male dominated industries like travel and tech, it amazes me a lot. I'm sure in your trajectory as well, you've often come across rooms where you don't see a lot of people like yourself, right? So what exactly goes on in your mind then? How exactly do you deal with kind of that situation? Because I'd want the women leaders who are listening to you to learn something from you so that they can also move ahead in tech or travel or such male dominated space.
Well, I'm really happy that you're joyous. I'm joyous too about it. I want to say, I guess the big thing is be curious. Don't think that you have to be different just because you're a woman and approach this differently.
Right.
Be curious. That's a big one for me, especially when we're trying to drive innovation and change. Also, just create an environment where people are comfortable, where they can bring new ideas forward. That's really important for me because everyone has an opinion and ideas that can be heard. And I think that diversity really in leadership matters. So when you think about innovation, especially in just the travel and tech space, a lot of it is looking at how can we approach or solve a problem differently.
Mhm.
And if you have everyone around the table and they all look the same, right? And they've got the same background. Hey, maybe they're the same gender. They all have the same experiences. You're kind of going to approach maybe that problem in similar ways. So really for me, just different perspectives and diversity around the table is super important. And it's very important to be and have women just be around that table and part of the discussion. Um, and I say too, just as a woman leader, I again just creating that space, like I said in the beginning, for the next generation of women coming in. May not have all the answers about how to fix a problem or how the ideal female leader should look like. But again, it's just about being visible, holding space for people to give them a voice, share what they've learned, giving people opportunities and just showing that there's a lot of different ways to lead.
Wow, I love how you framed that answer. It's so very balanced. And the best part is that I realize that women now have stopped asking for a seat at the table as well. They're just creating their own tables, and that is the beauty of it. I'm loving this conversation today, Suzanne, and definitely we'd love for you to be back, hopefully, for a deeper in person, podcast that we do the next with you. But for now, today, before we let you go, if there's one final piece of advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you'd want them to remember long after they've finished this episode, if you could whisper something into everyone's ears, what would you say and why?
Gosh, I would say review your travel risk program now. Don't wait for the crisis to happen. Do it now. Don't wait for the horrible situation to occur.
Yeah.
Basically, that's not the time that you really want to be creating a policy. Make sure that you're reviewing it now. Go through some exercises, put it to the test, just so to make sure that you have something really strong and resilient that can take you into the future with travel.
That's $1 million advice right there, Suzanne. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. It was such a pleasure having you.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, that was Suzanne Sangiovese from Riskline. She delivered a compelling blueprint for modernizing corporate duty of care, leveraging real time intelligence to protect business continuity and empowering travelers across the globe. To all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to She and Success. To learn more about how we are supporting women entrepreneurs beyond the platform, please visit the She and Success Foundation at sheandsuccessfoundation.ca. A very special thank you to our exclusive shipping partner, Later, for their ongoing commitment to supporting women entrepreneurs and helping them build, grow, and lead successful businesses across Canada. I'll see you all in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.